Hello and welcome to another gameplay review on the Virkayu gameplay channel. And in this one, once again, we have Fiddlesticks, the Scarecrow. Little bit of a different game state, different rune set, different item enjoyer. This time we're going for the Night Harvest Enthusiast focus, rather than the last time, which was, Rocket Belt Turbo Acceleration. And this one, the game state's going to be rather different than the last one, where you were focused on sort of scaling from behind, enemy team gets a whole bunch of dragons, etc., etc. But this game, we want our jungler to try and harness control early with intelligent pathing, understanding that it is a Kha'Zix. Now, we have the effigy trick of removing isolation damage, so that's obviously a bonus, but, you're not exactly looking for risky plays and getting the Kha'Zix snowballing or what have you. However, the mid laner didn't have fun. Runes on your screen now. The mid laner was just inting it away. The Fiddlesticks is going to use the Ultimate Hunter, nice clock, Cosmic Insight, Electrocute damage build. This one really will focus on single target damage. You have your ult up so frequently that single target damage annihilation is supreme. And when that is the case, it allows you to change games when one person is in particular very fed. Let's go. Now, you'll notice that the Fiddlesticks gets a leash. This is very different than a lot of other Fiddlesticks, specifically in Korea. You will see them leash together the Red and the Raptors. They will do the Krugs. They walk around for safety in case of weird Nidalee invades, which in Korea is like an infestation. Like if your house was riddled with ladybugs or something. And then you can go down and do your Wolves, Blue Grom together, and all as well. Very often on the NA server, Nikon, one of the best to do it, will probably claim rank 1 NA. There is, I think, Mathael or something like that, who's also probably vying for that, but currently he has the most LP, so we'll go with that for this one. Likes to get a leash, Blue, Gromp, Wolves, and you still stitch together the Raptors and the Red. Now, from the Kha'Zix's point of view here, you track the bottom lane, usual things. Okay, he gets a leash, he starts bot. This ward is stupendous by the Zoe. It's probably the only good thing she does in the first 20 minutes of this game. You'll see what I mean. Kha'Zix does this. Now, full hand, what does that even mean? First hand from this ward that the Kha'Zix is going to be going upside, looking for this, perhaps an invade. And that's why when you're farming jungler, right? If you see this, or you have any idea that the jungler might be doing this just to go straight for an invade, that's why your farming cadence needs to be so good. Either cart this, obviously lower elo than this, do a full clear, and this is like a master P Karthus. But for some reason, despite a leash, was 3 minutes 10 on the Krugs. And not even, nearly finished them. The enemy jungler just walks in and kills them. And the enemy jungler's invade was badly timed. It should not have worked. The Karthus should not have died. But the thing is, because he was inefficient, he lost the tempo of going back to base down to bottom crab. And instead of just wasting the enemy jungler's time and basically having a second rotation primed, died. And from that, the enemy jungler was an assassin. Carnivore just took over. Now, Fiddlesticks, the same kind of principle here. You get a leash so you can be faster. You sucky McSuck the camps, and then you transition, look at that, drag it to the Krugs. And you see here, you would have seen that. I hope you saw that at the very least. You've got the ward here, the effigy, as it were, and it shows the Kha'Zix moving up toward this. Now, this is a horrific ward, because what are you expecting to see? If the Fiddlesticks... If you knew Fiddlesticks, you'd know he's already done with these camps, and even if he wasn't, look. Fog of War gap. You see that they're not there as the Raptor camp, but what if he's just dragging them in the bush here and then going to stick to the wall, which is good practice anyway against invaders. Don't like it. I think you have to push this up a little higher. You want to see the pathing in this direction. Now, in terms of mid lane, Zoe is incredibly low. There's a cannon wave now shoving into the tower. So the Kha'Zix does the good thing of, okay, we can dive this. As an Elite right side, this is much easier and you're obviously looking to do it. Fiddlesticks will not have control over this. So Fiddlesticks, in our point of view, is just going to finish these, try top lane, try and get this crab and what have you. But we see the Kha'Zix show here, 12 CS, red buff, no blue, great. Alright. So... Kha'Zix no flash, but Kha'Zix now is on the bottom side of the map. We can watch it. So he'll get this. Alright? What this will do is open up for him a possible gank in the bottom lane. It's too soon for the Grump tier 2 from the Fiddlesticks, which means this is the logical play. He's got no other camp. So if he can't make this, and this is down for another 30 seconds. He cannot afford to sit there and... what do Kazakhs do when they stand still? Think about Rengar in a bathtub. And, you know, what is he going to do here? He has to just simply swap sides and go back top lane. The Fiddlesticks knows this, so we can very easily snatch this crab, snatch the blue, and we can stitch it together with the Grump, because we see the Kazakhs here now. We know the Kazakhs is going to be doing this then. So, we don't have a smite up. We put an effigy down. Secure it nicely. Kazakhs, my friend, what are we doing? What is this? You know this crab is down. Challenger, guys. You know the crab is down. You're just trying to cheese the Zoe here. But your Victor is busy doing this. You know, zoning the Zoe away. Zoeing. Is that even a word either? I don't know. It's Friday. Give me a break. It's just silly. And now Fiddlesticks has all the control in the world. Because you got Prior topside as well, right? Somebody's TPing in here. Which means the Fiddlesticks knows he has full security in his Fear Empire to take the wolves. Fiddlesticks, the Kazakhs is kind of screwed now. So, from here, yeah, definitely a translation gank to the mid lane. I think this is the most logical thing. Careful though. Don't get too ambitious, because you know you just forced the Kazakhs down here. So the Kazakhs, from our point of view, can either go back to base and cry, or try and take his tier 2 Krugs, maybe try something bottom lane. And if the Fiddlesticks ganks mid and goes up to take the Raptors and Krugs again, you could look for a counter jungling here, but the waves aren't exactly in prime position for that. So Kazakhs, good job. You got to kill unless you flash, but that's about it. The rest is pretty bad pathing. The Fiddlesticks here now, I would honestly think, from your vortex of decisions, up or down, yes, this is nice to protect, but in order of experience, you know, this will be much higher, and this will be much higher. So if this is respawning, then this is going to be respawning. So I think pathing upside anyway would probably be a good idea, because then you can reset, go straight down, and if the Kazakhs does do this base, he's going to have to be, he'll be level 4, and all he can do is go topside, which means it gives you a free dragon. And then you can fall back to these 3 camps, and you've got 6, you know? So that's what I'm seeing at the moment. However, you do have to react to lanes. So Fiddlesticks decides to go down anyway. Understandable, because you can go Grump, Wolves, Raptors, Krugs. It just delays the play, but it's not wrong, right? It's a good idea to simply secure the tier 2, tier 2, tier 2, tier 2. I just like the idea of taking this and this, because that means you're going to get the tier 3 much sooner also. Juiced experience. But the Grump is, of course, the most important with that buff. Alright, cleanse used and killed solo. The Fiddlesticks turns around to try and help, and now realizes, you know what, that lane is doomed. I'm just going to do the Raptors, which, good. Now we can go ahead and do the Krugs as well. We're staring at the map. You can rotate for this if you see this, but the Renekton does the job. So I think farming here is normal. Right, now we got a bottom side crab. We hit level 6 because of the counter jungling and minion absorption in the mid lane. You're watching. Here we go. Hello, level 4 Kazakhs. How are you? It's in South Africa. In Zulu, we say Unjani, which is how are you? I don't know why I would say the two in particular, but just something that came to me. I think I'm losing my mind. There's a fight going on here, but I don't think anyone necessarily wants to take it. I think here you've got choices. We can ult this. We can use our ult here. We just have to be careful. We don't want to waste it. I mean, I think you kind of... yeah, I think you have to, actually. Yeah, you have to. Careful, though. You are outnumbered. Okay, I don't think that was a bit misplaced, but... Grab a kill, and now we die. Okay. So... yeah. You know, when I said I think we have to, I'm thinking this, but... I'm naturally a cautious player. I would not normally go for this. Even as Fiddlesticks, I'd be a bit more waiting for a prime moment. Once the bottom lane shows up, I think maybe we got to pull it. But the problem is the channel's already begun, and the flash has to be used. So, at least one kill is grabbed, which isn't the end of the world. And the fact that it's the Kazakhs is pretty good. The Victor's really ahead now. Alright. Yeah, okay, so let's call that, it's good until it's not good, but maybe a little too aggressive. I'm naturally more cautious, but I think you can't afford to let those small moments go, but you should be watching bottom lane. This is something that a lot of junglers will make mistakes on. Even I miss it. Even the best players in the world miss it. You're just focusing on one thing and you miss the fact that bottom lane rotates. It's okay though. No, I'm not concerned. Straight down, we have a crab that we can fear, and we can Succ it with the dragon. Very nicely done. And because the Kazakhs died and we'll have to reset to go back, basically we don't know exactly which path he will choose. Because he was on the Raptors the last time we saw him, and he respawns, he can go upside or he can just go to take these. And we don't really have visual confirmation, but I think back to farming now. We want to gank around our ultimate. Here we go. Okay, so he did his red. There you go. As expected. He might have gone up and done the grump first. So the thing here, we're not going to analyze it anymore because it just seems completely random. Which is the point of counter jungler. This is the point of being a Fiddlesticks. You basically make his pathing spaghetti code, and you can just fully sequence like a beautiful beast. Zoe, Renekton. I think when this is happening as Fiddlesticks, don't feel compelled. That's word of the week, I guess. To run it down here. Definitely shadow and be present. Definitely shadow and be present. Look for the cleanup, for sure. But it's not something you want to... Did he walk? Okay. Yeah, I think this is right. So my point was, be present here for your E silence, for a fear, for some cleanup W's. But don't overcommit without your ult. But if your ult is up, please get to these situations. You never know. If they decided to be bad and just go back to base right here, or ult double kill. At the very least here, we get to take this level 6 camp, which, while not the greatest for the Fiddlesticks, is really great to deny the Kazakhs, because he's only level 5. And now you can steal the Krugs as well. Watch the minion wave. Make sure there's nothing. You can see over there. 4 points in W, so going for the more farming really quickly kind of build. The ult is up. Nice transitive gank. I really like that. Don't think we get anything on the Janna, but that's fine. Good. Perfect. I like that a lot. That's the point of rotating, right? This play was not possible if you decided, and this happens a lot in Platinum, low Diamond specifically, I need to farm and get myself strong, for I am the carry and everyone else is a potato spud. It's not the case. You're all potato spuds. You just have to decide, you know, if you work together to become a nice, you know, meal rather than just individual spuds of badness. What am I talking about? Anyway, whatever that was, you could be farming upward and just getting yourself a lot of experience and then onto the Herald and you'll think you'll be making the right play. But because you didn't rotate, you missed the opportunity to counter jungle, steal camps, and kill the ADC, which gives your bottom lane the chance to be ahead. Because your mid lane is inting tragically and your top lane is winning, it gives you 2 side lanes that are winning, which is huge in this case. And even though the Kazakhs is getting some kills, he's 39 CS to you 73. So this play is enabled because you rotated. So keep that in mind. Rotating can always help. Control ward, Succ it to finish, and we're gonna look to get out. Bottom lane wants to reset, although, you know, disengage with them. Victor rotates. Ult is not up, so we don't want to overcommit here again. Careful. Stunned. Never mind. And that's why you rotate again. He overcommits and throws. And that's something very important. That's why you go back with your laners. Okay, we want to leave, let's leave. But you do it with your team because if someone makes a mistake like that Victor, we can actually capitalize. Now, there's a risk you lose topside camps, there's a risk you lose a Herald and so on, but the Kazakhs, as I said, I don't know. I mean, this pose right here. This pose summarizes his entire game. You know, like if I played like this, I would make that my Twitter photo, for example. It's beautiful. And this summarizes everything about the game style and the pathing. I don't know if filled or just a bad game, but the Fiddlesticks definitely having a much better time. So here we can sequence our Raptors and Krugs. I think you could look to go straight for this. Kazakhs is ulted here. You've got a level 9 Renekton, level 8 Yone. I think we could afford to rotate once we've done the camps, but it's one of those things that you want to play by ear. You watch the fight develop, you know, looking at it now. Okay, this is looking good, actually. 2-0 Renekton, up 30 CS almost. This looks strong. We can fight this. I don't have ultimate, but because everyone has used their sort of cooldowns already, you have a much better time actually getting into the fight to use your spells, which is crucial. It's the assassin style. I mean, Fiddlesticks is not a mage by any stretch of the imagination. You know, you don't want to go in when they all have their spells up and it disrupts up. You want to make sure that spells are burned. Carefully, we saw the Kaiser. Don't be overzealous. You do have your ult up though, so we can bait something maybe. Okay, that's fine. Kaiser's mid now. Janna's clearing the wards out. And basically, this is the Fiddlestick strategy, right? Nice power thing to hide. We can ult this. If they push up, you can ult this. The Janna Qs to make sure you're not there though. What is their vision like? They don't actually have vision right now, so we could be looking for a hero play. But if you're not sure, until you have visual confirmation, this is also fun. This is a nice old gank trick. Yone just died at the hands of the demons that erupt from your head. So, wait for him to respawn, walk top lane, and just ult him. I mean, there's really a way to make a lane dead. And then you've got a free herald. This is quite early as well. Okay. Electrocute Fiddlesticks is a lot of damage. Kha'Zix is on the bottom side, free herald. And now what you can do actually is take the herald, look for top lane. He's TPing in, it's almost like it's scripted. And you just take your herald, you go back top lane. And we can dive this. I mean, Yone is a good champion, of course. I mean, very, very balanced and engaging. I feel has a lot of weaknesses that I can abuse. I mean, what? Should not, I mean, granted the Renekton hasn't gone back to buy. Okay, he does it though. Triumph proc helps him out. And now we get to herald this. I think here this is a great concept anyway that you want to do. I don't think we want to stay. I think I want to just make sure I get this dragon. I don't think I want to give it up. I mean, you've got a herald push for double plates. Renekton can push this wave and retreat. It's not the best use of the herald, but at least it takes the tower with a... You have TP top. Your ult is going to be up in 48 seconds. Obviously not in time for dragon, which maybe is part of the calculation. But you know bottom lane's missing here, so bottom lane could be rotating up. Yone's going to be respawning in 20 seconds. I don't like giving up the dragon for no reason. Okay, yeah, there you go. I mean, one dead, two top. And he's just sneaking away dragon. Your lucky day. Yeah, I'm more of the, we forced their rotations, we got the gold, we have the TP Renekton. Let's try and hold on. Oh, here we go. Let's try and get this dragon away from them. So Renekton actually does TP. And now they're actually choosing to fight this because apparently they didn't see that. So Someday's just gonna say, good night. He doesn't have, just came up. There we go. If he needs it, he has it. But he doesn't, I don't think. Unless Kha'Zix... no. Prowler's Claw. That's good. If you're gonna give up a dragon, and you have to, that's fine. Just don't give them up too much. So here we're going for the Raptors. Now the reason he's going for the Raptors here is because you want to shadow these events on the mid lane because your ult's up as well, right? So, Night Harvester complete, Succ's completed, and you've got a stopwatch. And because you know they're going to try and push this tower plate, you got 30 seconds left. That's one. I don't think you get more than one or two if everything sort of works out in the perfect sense, but being here ready to use your ult if they overcommit on either side is the best bet. Yeah, we use it. Silenced. Flash ult from the Janna. Interrupt. Flash swipe. That's Q, right? Yeah. Flash Q from the Renekton. I have this habit of confusing like Qs and Ws and Es. It's always the W. So at least I got it right that time. Back to your blue side. Take your blue. Now this is where things get very stalled out for many teams. The Zoe is just tilt splitting. This still isn't taken, but we got 5. It looks like we got 5 plates from that. We got a few plates from this one, so there's a lot of plates going the way of the red team. How do we now break this open and use the fact that you got a supremely fit top laner and your jungler is really far ahead as well? I mean, the lead has been relinquished a little bit because the Kha'Zix got to farm a bit, get a dragon, and so on. But definitely look to take these final outer towers. Lucian is fed doing a good job. Okay, so Kha'Zix collapses bottom lane. Alright. And this is exactly what you're looking to do. Deep vision, scans, and now we're looking to become trap sticks. Assassin sticks. If anyone's out of position, you annihilate them. So we can push mid. Renekton's chasing in the red side jungle. We can go take this bottom crab. Great vision control. From Kha'Zix's perspective, this is really nice. Look at this. He knows Alright, they're all in my jungle. And then low elo, diamond, platinum, you guys are just gonna walk back in thinking... No. Walk around. You just cannot risk it. You cannot risk the possibility that you've been giga trapped. I know you see 2 on top, but you have no idea. So I would hit this. Good loot pathing for protection, but I would hit this just to see what's up. And if no one's there, you can afford to maybe clear a ward or 2, but again, Fiddlesticks, so be careful. Blue team now just have to keep ward control, farm the camps as they're available, don't overcommit, and don't check blind spots. And basically force red team, force the Fiddlesticks to win the game through an action, not through blue team's mistakes. Which means farming, farming, farming. If we have an item spike, we got 1470 odd gold. If someone face checks us, we can ult. But we have a needlessly large rod, which again is needless, but that's the build we're going for. Obscene damage, and they have no tanks, right? And Merc treads. Yeah, penetration helps, but honestly, just the raw AP from the death cap was gonna be insane. And they buffed it as well. This is what I'm talking about. This is an overcommit because no one else is on the map. This is just a greed play. Having fun in solo queue because we have a dragon spawning. You just hit the tower. If they show up, you slice and dice away, reset, and come for the dragon. Meanwhile, the rest of the team can look at the vision control and may perhaps even go for a sneaky trap. Oh, hello. Exhausted. Fiddlesticks, wait. Choose your moment correctly, alright? You have the ult up. There we go. Well played. I mean, the downside of having this build is you don't have the rocket belt for gap close. You have to use your flash a lot, but... it's still, make sure you take out their most fed member. That's your goal. And in this case, definitely the victor. Definitely. It should give us dragon control. Kazakhstan on the top side. Perhaps just taking this. Might even look to sneak away this herald here. Which you guys can probably defend. Or you can go top side here. Maybe he's going to sneak this. Yeah. Assassin's so predictable. I don't know why you're even going back in that situation. Just go on the tower. I don't know. Victor rotated because you respawn. Just go back on the tower, Zoe. Lucian split push. We got a nice 1-3-1 actually. With a Zoe Lucian. Oh no! Lazy backs again. Fiddlesticks rotations. But they get out. I like the attempted play. Then that's what we're looking for. I'm looking at the macro now. Okay, we need to make sure in this situation, these mid-game situations where you guys always ask, what do we actually do to close the game? We have a lead. Don't start just doing heralds when your team are dead or back. Don't start pushing waves when your team are dead or back. Wait for your team. And if you need to farm in the downtime until everyone sort of coalesced on the bottom side or coalesced around an objective, do so. This is when you farm. But don't farm when you have all your team pushing towers. You know, this is what happens too much. You farm when your team are actually looking to make a play, and then you try and make a play when your team are dead. So, does she deserve that blue though? I mean, that's a deep question. And that's a philosophy mage's question right there. Does Zoe really deserve the blue? And now they overcommit. No, I didn't mean to pause it. They should both die. That's why it's important. We could have all just gone to the Herald and taken that. You know, somebody's trying to do it. The second Herald here really helps against teams that have wave clear and are kind of stalling. So using that in this situation would be amazing. Because the team is coalesced, as I said, you do kind of need the mana from the Gromp. And your ult's still 6 seconds, but at this point, I think shadowing this is important because everyone's sort of up. At the same time, bottom lane should not go for this. This is the same thing with the Renekton top side. Fiddlesticks is finishing his Gromp. Zoe has gone to protect the mid lane tower, which is still up, which is huge. Why are we... yeah, you know, this is just a silly go for. There's no point for this. And ulting also isn't a good idea. Concept good, but just a little bit of a disagreement about macro. And Renekton doesn't even get the Herald, so wasted. Wasted. Suck the Raptors, and now you can basically look to have split push with TP advantage. Look to trap someone with your ultimate, like in this case. Once you see people committed somewhere else, if someone's overcommitting, you can just kill them into the Baron. Especially if the jungler shows bottom lane here. Everyone's bot. We've shadowed it. I mean, you see the pings. You could have started or flirted with the Baron. I mean, you don't want to sit in the pit and die doing it, but you could definitely force something, force rotation and turn. So again, ridiculous split macro. I have no idea what's going on. Why? And then he just recommits and gets annihilated. Now there's 3 people on the bottom side. There's 2 on the top side killing the Victor. It's descended into madness. No real macro. Now overcommitting 2 levels down on the Renekton, forgetting that the Fiddlesticks is a champion. But yeah, Kai'Sa ult. I mean, you don't have isolation damage and you're not a tank. What are you doing? Patience is very important to not only watch these VODs, but also to play in these games. Dragon spawning, Kha'Zix top side, Janna top side. There's a risk they're doing the Baron, but not as soon as Kai'Sa shows in the mid lane, which means they're not doing Baron. So we can actually prime Juice and good blue trinket there for the Dragon. But this is kind of where we're looking for some kind of fight. Cleanse used, that's important. Renekton has pressure bottom side. They're doing the Baron now, okay? But the thing is, they've chosen to go for this Baron, thinking that they're going to do the Dragon. But as soon as they all sort of recommit up, then it's very obvious they're going for the Baron, so we need to sort of defend it. And I don't know if it's a good idea to do the Baron versus Fiddlesticks Zoe. Let you guys make the judgment on that one, but if they do this as a Fiddlesticks player, I'm very happy. Okay, so Zoe dies. That's fine. We can ult this. Oh my goodness. Woo! He didn't even use a stopwatch. I want to watch that again. Here's the the Night Harvester build. If you had Dark Harvest, this would be insane. But you can use your stopwatch, just as a thing. Whoa! He gets interrupted. Yeah, he gets interrupted. Double airborne. Didn't get a chance to proc it, but nice TP from the Renekton. That's what you have with a split push. Now you can Baron if people are alive, but no one's alive, so they should go and do in the Dragon. Go on, off you go. Leather belt. Oh no, we're gonna trap. If you're an ADC, I do the Dragon. I'm Zyra, so I can actually solo the Dragon at this point. Usually in my mind, I'm just doing it. But trapping here is fine if you can't do it. Pull it out so that your jungler can join and smite it. There we go. Kha'Zix put to sleep. Janna shields the size of a country. The Renekton slice and dices over the wall. Kha'Zix hits the slow as well as an E to get out. Victor's channeling his inner laser beam. I mean, they don't see it because of the control ward, but this is still, like, be very careful. He's got death cap completed now. Oh no, Victor. Oh no. Oh no. Careful, you don't have your ult now, but the W does a lot. Just be careful. Remember, Fiddlesticks really is like your assassin. You know, you're not looking to buy Ludens and wave clear with your E. Lucian's done a lot of damage this game. Very nice. Off to the Baron, and I think this one should be wrapped up if they can secure it. You know, nice and measured, and you see the Kha'Zix is now the same level as the Fiddlesticks. That's worth noting. Just by stalling and making those side wave picks, Fiddlesticks' ult is up. Just by stalling and making those side lane picks and clearing those camps from those picks as well, really lets you get back into the game, especially when you have minions crashing into your towers a lot. So this sort of mid to late game macro was not very good by the red team. They were consistently caught out. They don't really use those advantages enough. But they still have an AK gold lead, and even though the kills are close just because of the mistakes they've made, they really have a lot of control over the sort of tempo of the game. And now you can see, everyone tightens up. Blue team does a great job. No joke, they do a very good job of sort of stalling this game out. It has no business going this long. But, again, Kai'Sa scales, Yone scales, Victor scales, Kha'Zix, Janna. It's a tough comp to, you know, so if you don't make the right decisions, you can see the pain. We have the Baron on the Renekton. Good Q by the Janna, but nice dodge by the Fiddlesticks. Effigy for scanning. Pretty standard stuff. I mean, you're just looking to trap, but just don't overcommit. Shouldn't be anything too complex. Go down for the Dragon. If he decides to check this, we kill him. Stopwatch is used now, but we're close to Zhonya's. Kha'Zix are on top side, we do the Gromp. And yeah, once we get the soul and we win a fight, it looks like they're able to close. So, I mean, nothing really advanced in this final 5-7 minutes or so. Just standard stuff. Not always the most exciting League of Legends, I'll be honest with you. Not to play, not to watch, not to study. But the mid-game is very interesting because when people make subtle mistakes, you allow teams back into the game, and that's really not the way we want to do things. And here, you should be able to get a vision advantage at some point and just have a really good team fight. You have soul, not that it's the best soul in the world, but worth something. Here we go. We see it, I see it, flashes up, Zhonya's is ready. Force him to overcommit Lucian, nice damage. There you go. GG's. GG's. Well done to Lucian, well done to Fiddlesticks, nicely played. Nice carry game. You know, highest KP in the game at the moment. Not really being everywhere, just reading the pathing very well. Early game, mid game was just a really great control from him and good ultimate usages, except for like 1 or 2 cases where it was a bit overzealous, but all in all, hopefully you can see how Fiddlesticks can be used to actually control the game, even if it's quite unassuming. I mean, that's why the champion's so strong. And the threat of those ults at any given moment with Ultimate Hunter and 3 Cloud Drakes is always kind of scary to face. So, thank you very much for watching. Please do like, share, and comment if you did enjoy and maybe learn something and enjoy my ridiculous metaphors and brain doing weird things tonight. I don't know why. Should be making a new main channel video very soon. Coaching links are in the description below. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, I will see you all in the next tutorial.